Hey guys, how's it going? I'm just testing out some Apple Vision Pro streaming here. Don't mind the picture-in-picture. Uh, I'll put that to the side a little bit. But basically what I'm doing is I'm pitching my Apple Vision Pro to an Apple TV and then embedding that Apple TV with an ATEM into Ecamm, and that's what's on the screen. So the screen I have right here is the display to my Mac Studio, which is sitting right there. And that's kicking back to here. I also have a keyboard and a trackpad in front of me that's connected to Apple Vision Pro. And I figured I would just give a quick look. I have a habit of moving my head around too fast, but we'll try to keep this going. Um, yeah, this is my home office, as some of you guys might know. I might go ahead and fade that out, right? And let's kind of keep it like this a little bit. Guess I'm sitting a little crooked on my couch, which is making the video crooked. I could put this in front of me. Trying to keep my head still. I mean, okay. I figured we'd see how this streams like this, how it goes. We'll maybe take a look at a couple of apps. I'll push this to the side a little bit so it's off my vision. I'll peek at that a little. So let's go ahead and open up some of the apps. So one of the apps lately I've been playing around with since start, but it's making some more headway, is this InSpace app. All right, so this is the main app. So it's kind of a VR social platform that people could jump in and into a room. I think you could talk up to eight people in that room at a given time. There's spectators. It's really what we should have saw Apple come out with something along these lines. It's probably something Quest has been doing for a while, but it uses that persona, and that persona makes it that much more personal. Okay, so this is the app. I will go into my own room. Actually, sorry, I'm remembering how to do something. I want to go in and sorry, I wanted to make my room private, but I don't remember how to do that, but we'll jump straight in anyway. So I'm inside the room right now. Oh, that's right. So space settings. Turn this to private for right now so we don't have other people jumping in, which maybe we'll make it public in a little while. So this is the space, right? So the first thing to know is this control panel right here acts as your camera, right? If I move this, so you see my little persona, that little bubble there, that's what other people are seeing. And this control panel is kind of your camera. That's the angle people are going to see you from. It's kind of hard to see, but if I try not turning my head, you'll see now it's shifted. My look's shifted that way. If I turn my head again to look at it, so the thing to remember is this is your focal point and the camera facing you. So we'll put that there. We can minimize it a little bit. So this is your room. You could set it up. You could put pictures on the wall. You can make the colors. The these beanbags on the floor is where everybody sits. There's a hover of a little box over them with the persona of a person in it. And it makes it pretty cool. You could jump seats by clicking on them. I'll show you that in a second. You have music on the right, which is, I'm not going to play any music. I don't want to get kicked off YouTube or anything. But you could play any music you want. It works with Apple Music, so you could actually have 9 of your own albums up there. They actually have their own music. I think 8 of them, I just left it with their own music up there. You could put as many pictures, I don't know if there's a limit to how many pictures you could put on the wall. So you could put pictures on the wall. People could click on them and get, a bigger view of it, right? I could replace them or add more frames. These 2 things on the shelf here are actually games. So the first one is actually chess, and the second one is kind of their take on Battleship, but it's with planes, and it's kind of neat. Yeah, you know what? Let's try to jump into that. I don't know if, since I'm the only person in here, let's see what happens. Play Wing Blast. Let's hit play. So you see, if we look down, the whole area changed. I'll go ahead and say play with AI just to. I ended it. All right. You can have a little dog. So again, the whole bottom flips to play whichever game you want, and the environment changes when you start the game too into that. Now, what I was going to show you too is you could switch seats. So if I look at one of the other beanbags, click on it, I could go change seat, right? And it switches me to the other side. And this is what I was going to show also. So on the wall, we have this like TV or screen, which is actually an internet browser. So if you click on it, you could search and you could share this with the room. So the rest of the room will be able to see what you're trying to show them. I haven't played with this a whole lot. I still want to see a little more of the specifics. Is it sharing your screen or is everyone having to log in? Let's say if you went to Netflix, does everybody see your Netflix because you're logged in, or is it they all have to go log in as well? You just get a link. So it'd be interesting to see that. Yeah, I thought this is a pretty cool app too. If I go back to maximize with this, this is the immersive environment that you're sitting in here, but you could also click this and switch to windowed mode. And that'll bring up our windowed mode of that. But typically, I think I went into it a different way. Let's see that again. Interesting, yeah. So this screen right here, I'll close the other, this is your windowed mode. So just like you see my persona here, it will have the other personas of everyone else that's in the room. And you could also have a little chat button for the room, so you could see people actually chatting as well. And it's really cool. It's one of the few social VR apps that are done pretty well, and they keep knocking out updates and It's very well done, but I'll say this. It's really different in the Apple Vision Pro than the Quest and everything else. And it's a twofold. It's a demographic, first of all, right? The people in it are people who like jumping on the bandwagon to new things, or someone, or people trying to figure out how do I incorporate this into my business. And there's a course of entry too. So you don't have that many kids running around and goofing around. Um, so the demographic right now is I'm enjoying it. Um, with that said, this persona, if you're new to it, it takes a couple of minutes to get used to, but it definitely makes it more personal than talking with a cartoon character. Um, so the personas are really nice. The FaceTime the FaceTime personas where they're actually in your room and everything, that's awesome, and FaceTime's great for people you know, right? So the big question everyone always asks is, how many people in real life do you know that has the Apple Vision Pro, right? That's the drawback. So most people uh, don't really know that many people who have it. If they have one, maybe two, they're really lucky. So having some kind of social network that could bring all these people together for right now is definitely nice. But with FaceTime, you have to be willing to share your email or your phone number with that person, right? So it's not really a public thing. But something like this space in space is anyone could join the room. Um, it's working very well. It'd be interesting to see as it grows how it scales. With that, um, right now it's definitely the place to be if you have an Apple Vision Pro and you're trying to be social. You have questions. Everyone's very helpful. It's worth checking out. But let me jump out of here. This again, this wasn't a review of this in space app. Again, this is me just goofing around. This will probably be deleted later on. I'm just trying to see how well the streaming works, doing it this way. Um, what else? For those of you that do catch this, let's take a look at some of the apps I have in here. Most of the stuff you guys know on the first page, right? Any app that is not native to Apple Vision Pro gets put in a compatible apps folder. And swipe over. Uh, yeah, you guys know Disney. Gucci's a really nice app. Some of these immersive apps, when you try streaming them, sorry, not streaming them, mirroring them to an Apple TV or another device, they go all black. So it's probably like their copyright, type of thing. Um, but that being said, so that means I can't show you guys all the apps here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just rambling. None of this is script. None of this was planned. I just wanted to test and see how these things go. Um, some of these apps are cool. What have I been using lately? Um, Film Noir is my kind of TV guide app. They actually have a native one, and I was surprised to see it. It's my favorite app for my iPad and iPhone for seeing what's coming out, movies and TV shows and stuff, kind of keeping track. It works with Tracked, which I have everything pushed to Tracked to manage my stuff. Let's pull up the menu again. 8 millimeter. There's a lot of these YouTubes and Netflix players that have been coming out. Um, and this is a Netflix one. Again, Netflix doesn't have their own, so everyone's kind of porting over. 8mm is a nice clean one. You do have the bar on the side with all the options, and it's pretty clean. But I think that's all this one does is Netflix. There's a few that do a couple other things. So Carrot Weather, uh, Bino Boost was an app I was working on. Cinephile, I don't know. It's a Plex app. I only played with it a little bit. I didn't get it totally to pull everything. Yeah. Um, uh, there's some apps I don't really even want to mention, but Infuse is great. InSpace, Jetpack Joyride's pretty cool. They've been around forever. Again, some of these apps I can't really show you because they go full immersive. And, now, I don't know if that's an option or feel like it's an option because there are a handful that you could show off. A Jetpack might be one of them, but I'm going to keep going. Juno is the big YouTube app that everyone was raving about when they found out YouTube's not going there. Our live stream is up right there as well. Again, they have a little bar on the side. Juno works very, very well. I don't know, are any of these, they might be short-lived, right? Live battery is kind of cool. It's this little lava lamp that you can put anywhere. And basically it tells you battery percentage and the time, right? Lenses, I was trying to use it. Again, it's one of those apps that you could use with different sites, right? Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't remember this if that one does, but some of them are going to start charging for. Uh, Moon Player is a nice one. It lets you play your own videos from media sources and browser. Again, I have Infuse for that. I've been testing the Moon Player. There's the Moon Portal, which is kind of neat. Let's see if I could go in there a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, let's not mess with that. So that Moon Portal, basically, you could basically get a door and put a door in there and open the door into another room in like a VR space. It's pretty neat. Nexus, I think, is another one of those Netflix browser bookmark type things. What else is there? Live Now is another streaming thing I want to test later on. It lets you send your screen as an RTMP to another destination. So in theory, I would be able to use that and live stream on the go, right? So if I'm connected to my phone, I've been using my headset a lot out and about. I don't think you should be driving, you shouldn't be biking. I don't really even think you should be walking around. But my use case is if I'm waiting for my sons or um, I found it very useful in the car to get things done. And if I wanted to stream when I'm out of the house, that might be pretty nice. Just a straight stream of whatever you're seeing to YouTube or FaceTime with an RTMP or something. Jigspace, everyone's seen that. That is one of the big things that sold me on Apple Vision Pro is seeing 3D models in a space that you could take things apart or even be able to give a 3D model to someone as a training measure. They illustrated that really nice. What else? Parcel I use for tracking. I don't use it too much in here. Personnel Studio, which lets you see your persona. Nice. Pluto TV I don't really use. Runestone is a text editor. I I got it with the intent of using it, but I haven't used it so much. Shortcut buttons, again, it's one of those things I thought I might put buttons here and I could press a button. I have a lot of home animation at home. However, Apple has not included the option of persistent placements. So I can't place something and then when I turn off my Apple Vision Pro and come back, it won't be there anymore. So a lot of this stuff is like I have to put it on and set it and place everything out and like, it's only good until I restart the unit. So I'm sure it'd be really cool later to place actual buttons in your room or something that you could click on and do certain things. But it's a pain to have to keep, adding buttons, everything. And, that with the same thing, I like this spatial menu, uh, which, reminds you of like a taskbar, right? You have a couple of apps. And on the top here where these buttons are, they're actually shortcuts too, these four. And it's nice. You could have, right now I have them set up to lights in my room. But again, it's like this is awesome if I could place it and it remembers to leave it there. But having to restart it every time, um, they add up. How many apps do you want to start and have to place on top of the stuff you're working on? Spatial camera is actually pretty nice. It lets you use your phone as a camera. Yeah, I think we could demo that real fast. Turn down the environment so I could grab my phone. Spatial camera, and I'll start spatial camera on there. And there you go. So the idea is if you're trying to be totally immersed, right? Let's say I put the immersive back on, stick that somewhere in the corner and it's and you have a view into the room, or if you wanted to place it somewhere else. I'm not sure why it's like stretching the image itself. Like the camera is skewed for some reason. Anyhow, it's a nice thing. It's a nice app to have in your toolbox. Supercut I've been using a little more lately. Again, it's it's a Netflix app. Oh, yeah. Test flight's always nice. TikTok was one of the social apps that, came out right away. I'll click on it just so you guys know, since there's so many TikToks. I personally don't really TikTok. Um, I never really see, I don't know. I'm into technology and I never really see that much technology stuff coming through. But then I haven't set time to find the people I follow and put it on there. Split screen is nice. It lets you do more than one screen off your computer. So if you have a computer like mine, where I have 3 monitors, it will let you do more than the one single monitor, which is what's what it's limited to. But again, you have to run a third-party app on your computer. I hate having to do that, so I'm really kind of trying not to get used to using that. You're not always going to have a third-party app installed. I guess if you're only working one station, but I have many computers and, jump from locations as well. Um, Voyager, VX, Widgetsmith lets you make widgets. I don't know, Windora lets you make a window. Not too, I'm glossing over some of these because I'm not really sold on it. WinStreamer lets you take a Windows desktop to your computer. Yeah. Um, and Zoom, Zoom's really good. I don't think we really need to show that. And that's it. But like I said about all the other browsers, I mean, I really just use Safari, right? The thing that people, I don't know why I have Live Now was that app I was telling you about that I downloaded that you could stream. So it was the last browser page I had open. Um, but what I do is I add bookmarks. Sorry, I add bookmarks to my favorite. So when I go click new tab, I'll close this window, the keyboard, sorry. And then I have favorites sit all here, right? So if I wanted Netflix, then I just come here and click Netflix. Um, that's what I've been doing. Why, I don't really need these other apps. If all they're doing is embedding a page anyway, then why do you need them? The idea is that the target points would be better because it was made native. Um, that being said, yeah, I mean that's that. Um, we were talking about the desktop, seeing your desktop, which is what I'm doing over here, right? I'll pull that over here. So let me darken this. So this is the desktop that everybody's seeing right now. So the nice thing about this, and I guess I will dial back this a little bit, which is why it's nice to have a slider, because now I could pull my keyboard and mouse close enough that I could see my keyboard and mouse if I want, but still have that background a little bit around what I'm looking at. So at least in my office, it gets rid of all the other computer stuff. But what I was getting at is, here's your cursor, right? My trackpad. I have this on 3 different monitors, right? But the monitors go black once you start connecting it to the Apple Vision Pro. But what's nice is, like, even though I have applications on different screens there, if I click on, let's say, Audio Hijack, it changed monitors for me. So even though it's not like you're limited to only the stuff you have on one monitor, it will jump across the different monitors for you. But it's just one of those things. Yeah, I used Audio Hijack to clean up my audio a little bit for these live streams, in case the room's noisy or whatnot, or trying to filter other things out. Like, I don't want to hear myself in my ear when I'm doing these, but yet I want to hear everyone else in the room. All right, I'll jump back to Ecamm. All right, guys. Yeah, so this wasn't really meant to be a review of any sorts. I just wanted to test this stream and see how it's going. I tested it once before when I first got the headset, and it seemed like it was a bit buggy. Like the bandwidth would fluctuate. Again, the Apple Vision Pro is going wireless to the Apple TV right now. So that's the connection. I wanted to see how stable it is. And this whole tilting your head thing, I'm sure becomes jarring for everybody. you almost need to have like a neck brace, so you don't do that. But if you guys are interested in more information, let me know in the comments what you guys think or would look forward to. Again, this was just a quick test, so I'm probably going to delete this in the next 24 hours or so. Let me guys know your thoughts on Apple Vision Pro. If you have one, have you used InSpace? If so, pop in, say hi to me on there. I'm popping in there a couple of times a week. Until next time, guys. Later.